And we on. What's happening, fam? Salute, salute. What's good, bro?
Salute. Going down up in this bitch.
No. Shit, what's happening with you, though?
Oh yeah, we already live. I come in cussing, huh, man? We going down.
Shit, that bus, man. Got to chop it up, see what it do. What's good with you, man? Everything, your trip went good? Like, check.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, okay. Your trip went good?
Oh yeah, man. Everything good.
That's
Ready
what's
to
up.
get back up into this boxing. I feel like my mind that kind of fell off a little bit, but shit, ain't no time to get back in the swing of things though. You know what I'm saying?
Real talk. J1 Pro, salute, bro. What's happening? D-Biz in the building, salute, bro.
Salute, salute. What's going down with y'all?
Shit, I had missed putting my picks in this week, man.
Oh man. I
See,
missed out first place, man. I could have had first place on these boys, man. And I ain't followed my instincts on the eye test on 2 fights. Cost me 22 points in first place.
man, what you hit, like fourth, third?
I hit seventh. I had 109 points. I let a couple of people beat me that ain't had no business beat me, like Napoleon Armstrong with his mark ass.
Big Bear in the building, salute, fam. What's happening? Gregory
Salute.
X in the building, salute, bro. What's good?
What's up with it? Charles D.
Charles
What's
D.
up, bro?
Salute, fam. Shit, I see all the fights on the zone. We got Regis Prograde versus Zepeda, which is probably the most standout fight on the card and shit. You seen the card? I
Man, we
posted
might have to go ahead and call that motherfucker. What that shit gonna be on?
the zone.
Damn, man. I got access to that shit. I want to go ahead and call that shit. Holler at that motherfucker, Decane. See if you can get the password from him or something.
Yeah, shit, fired up. Big Bear said, I've been MIA, bro, trying to find myself again, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Self healing, man. I hope you found him, man. Had to, you out here, huh?
yeah.
Hell,
Charles D said same here. He switched his pick. Yeah, man, I got to get off that shit, man. I be flip flopping. One week I just stay down with my original picks. Then the next week I get to change and shit. Cause I had changed some picks last week. I had Thomas Matisse over Christian Tapia and changed. I changed my pick 4 times. That motherfucker Town Ross wasn't even around to see what I was doing. I changed my pick and I be like, nah, never mind on that. Then I come back and change that bitch again. Then I come back, never mind on that. And Town Ross didn't even see that shit. And then he finally got back and was like, damn, what the fuck this nigga doing?
Big
Tripping.
Bear, sorry to hear that, bro. Man, my condolences.
Oh yeah,
Sorry to hear that.
square business. My condolences too, man. I can relate to you. My little brother passed away a couple of years ago.
Talk.
You know what I'm saying?
Bruce Gas, salute, fam. What's good? Winston Lee in the building, salute.
Salute, salute. Charles D said could have had 3 KO. I could have had 3 KOs too. I had two of them, right? I had two early ones, man. Fuck. I can't. I think Flores, I might have had the MD. I can't remember, man. I know I had 109 points. So you know I had two knockouts or decisions or whatever. And then it got down to that Jaime Mongiel fight. I wanted to take knockout in 3. You know what I'm saying? But I overanalyzed the situation and talked myself into a damn decision. Because his opponent was a southpaw, and the only person to stop him was another southpaw in Janabek. He hadn't been stopped by an orthodox fighter, and he went the distance with one of them Eastern Europeans that got some pretty good punching power. That Fyodor Shurtsin or some shit like that. So I gave him a chance to go the distance and paid for it. Could have had 3 bonuses on them boys.
Motherfucker, like, damn. Hey, that's what's up, Big Bear. Gotta step in, huh? Man, she in good hands, though.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Well, Charles D said he only got one switch. The other two. I don't even know what that means, bro.
D-Lo in the building, salute, bro.
Salute. What's up, bro?
He said, welcome back. Appreciate you.
Back like we never left.
Yes, sir. But
Charles D talking about that Mongiel. What you about to say?
I'm gonna ask you about the tank and the what you think about the tank Ryan Garcia? They say it's official, huh?
Yeah, that's what's been said. It sounds like they both gonna get a tune-up fight. before they get it on though. I think they was talking about Tank having one in February or some shit like that. They talking about Hector Garcia. That's the one that went out there and upset Little Beehive. That's a pretty tough fighter. He ain't no guaranteed win for nobody. And them Dominicans got a whole bunch of momentum right now. They whooping everything moving over there in that Solace gym. You know what I'm saying? But he looked kind of vulnerable to me in his last fight, especially coming down the stretch, man. He looked like his gas tank. He need Yo Necesito Mas Gasolina in this motherfucker. And I think Southpaw on Southpaw, I think Tank will go out there and knock the motherfucker out. I don't know what they talking about tune up for Ryan Garcia, but more than likely he'll get past it. And Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis, I think it's a dangerous fight for both of them. You know me and my pedigree scale and shit. Both of them 3.5s on the pedigree scale. One of them 206 and 15 amateur record. The other one 215 and 15 amateur record. So that's damn near identical. You know what I'm saying? 221 fights for one, 230 fights for the other. Both of them got some amazing punching power. We all know about Tank, but I don't think people give Ryan Garcia enough credit for his punching power. That motherfucker hitting hard, man. And he been fighting southpaws and shit too. He done fought like two southpaws in a row. Went out there and won us some money when he stopped the last cat. I can't think of his name. The one, fuck, his amateur record just slipped my mind too. Fuck, I can't think of his name right now. The one that quit when he had fought against the kid from Chicago. I can't think of his name. Fortuna. Yeah, he went out there and stopped Fortuna. And yeah, Ryan, he can hit, man. If he hit Ryan with that left hook, 'cause that's really his best punch. I don't think he got much of a right hand. I think he come with that left hook. You know what I'm saying? But if he catch Tank with it, it can be problems. And of course, if Tank catch him, it could be problems. I'll probably give a slight. I don't know, man. I really been going kind of back and forth on this one, man, because I like the dog and Tank, but at the same time, I do respect the physical advantages that Garcia has as being a naturally bigger man, taller, kind of punching down with his punches. You know what I'm saying? That can give you a little bit extra leverage on your punches. But if somebody just put a gun to my head and made me take a pick, I got Tank Davis. Salute to my boy DeCane. What's going down? That motherfucker sound like that 21 Savage motherfucker when he talked. He said
Salute,
his Hector. He said his Hector Garcia first fight at 135 too. Can't forget that. Yeah, I was thinking about that, man. But I've been seeing like if you got a guy that started in smaller divisions and then he move up in weight, if somebody move up in weight behind them, it don't really be that much of a detriment from what I've been seeing. Like two examples that I can think of. Canelo. Canelo moved up. You know, Canelo fought as low as like 147. He actually started off at 140, but he was like 15. But 147, 154, and all that. He moved up to 168, and a lot of people was thinking that was gonna be too much for Golovkin. And I'm like, man, and they were saying that Canelo was gonna knock him out. I was like, man, look, both of them done moved up. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like Canelo starting out at 168 and then he gonna eventually go to 175 and go to cruiserweight and all that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he started off small and he moved up. And the same thing could be said about that Jason Rosario fight. When he fought that I can't think of that dude name that went out there and knocked him out. He hit him with the uppercut and shit. Um, the guy was a national champion, a national Golden Glove champion. I see the dude in my head. I just can't think of his name, but he went out there and knocked out Jason Rosario at 160. And they gave me a little bit of cause for concern because he hadn't fought above 154. And Rosario had moved up to 160 and had like 2 or 3 fights. But it really didn't mean shit. That kid went up there and knocked Jason Rosario ass out. You know what I'm saying? So Tank Davis, he done fought as low as what, 126? At least 130 at the most is what he started at. So Tank Davis done started off on smaller weight classes too. So him moving up to 135 and somebody moving up behind him, I don't look at that as much of a factor.
yeah, I think they set Tank up for this Ryan fight. He been fighting taller, longer fighter, stronger fighter. So I think that's really what they've been trying to set up this whole time. I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Tank, man. Especially if his defense ain't up to par, which it has been versus smaller fighter. I mean, taller fighter. he had been getting landed on, but it wasn't nothing eye catching. And then we go to Garcia. Garcia ass was dropped. You know what I'm saying? We seen that. You know he got a questionable chin. I don't know about the body. If the body been tested, because I ain't seen nobody really test him there. But Campbell gave him a good, decent run, and the size differential between Campbell and Tank. Campbell's like what, a few inches taller than Tank, right? Longer than Tank, right?
Oh yeah, Campbell is big for the weight class. He about 5'10".
Yeah. So I don't know. We Tank gonna have a little nice little stretch. I mean, little run to try to get up in the inside. He gonna definitely have to work his way in versus a dangerous ass left hook that Ryan Garcia got. But he real crafty in defense. I'm gonna put my money on Tank defense and his power versus Ryan power and his questionable defense. I'm gonna take Tank and probably by stoppage. Most definitely gonna pick stoppage.
I think that's a good point. I didn't even think about Tank side. Like on Ryan's side, I said that he's been fighting opponents that seem to be getting him ready for this situation because he's been fighting southpaws. But the same thing can be said about Tank Davis, like you said. Like he been fighting bigger and stronger guys to get him ready for this situation. He fought a taller guy in Mario Barrios. He also fought a guy that's bigger with power in his last fight, Rolly Romero. I know we ain't got a lot of respect for him, but Rolly Romero can hit now. Don't get it twisted. I know his style raggedy, kind of trash, but the motherfucker can hit, man. We saw what happened when he fought against Anthony. Can you dig it, Gidget? You know what I'm saying? But damn, I had another point that I was about to make. Fuck, it might come to me. You know what I'm saying? But that's a good point that you made. Both of them fought some guys that can get them ready for this matchup. But I definitely think they the best opponent that either one of them has faced. You know what I'm saying? I think that both of them can beat the other guys' opponents. Like if you put Tank in there with the guys that Ryan Garcia them fought, I think Tank will beat him. If you put Ryan Garcia in there with the guys that Tank them fought, I think he'll beat them. So that's why I think it's a great matchup. I know my boy D'Lo was like, man, this matchup ain't all that, man. You know what I'm saying? But I really do think it's a good matchup. Both the guys young, they in a prime, they got something to fight for. You know what I'm saying? They young, energetic, full of life, just you know what I'm saying, just full of that air to go out there and get something. And I got respect for them too, especially at a time right now we can't get the fight that we really want. These motherfuckers stepped in and gave us a good fight, man. So salute to them if they actually go through with it.
Well, definitely. AJ Run Pro had a question. He was like, Tank only a 3.5.
Who said that?
J1 Pro.
Yeah, he a 3.5 because he's a multiple time national champion. So he like a bona fide 3.5. To be higher than that, you got to fight on the international level. You know what I'm saying? You got to be going to the Pan American Games, Central American and Caribbean Games. You got to go to the AIBA World Championships. You got to go to the Olympics. And you also have to win fights when you go to these places. You can't just go and get put out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? You got to go win some fights to be a 4. And if you want to be a 4.5, you got a medal. And if you want to be a 5, you got to win gold. So that's why I say both of them are 3.5s. But the thing is, 3.5 is the basement for being great. If somebody is a 3.5, they can beat anybody up to a 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a knock on them calling them a 3.5. A lot of real good fighters are 3.5s.
Brown in the building. Salute, sis.
What's,
Blessings.
what's going down? Salute to my Amazon agent.
Hey, Big Bear had the same thing. I was gonna ask you anyway. I wanted to talk about this fight. He said, Pitbull Cruz trying to pull out the Stevenson fight. At first, he was giving Shakur his props, right? Because I was interested in hoping that shit happened. First, he was giving Shakur his props, like, nah, I ain't interested in that fight. And then Shakur came and started talking shit. And next thing you know, now Pitbull want that fight. What you think about that? I think that's a good ass fight, man. I think Shakur definitely beat him. I don't think Pitbull gonna be able to get to him like he was able to show like he was Tank. I think he gonna have a hell of a trouble and take a lot of punishment coming up in there fucking with Shakur Stevenson like that. What you think?
Well, for me, when I first heard about the fight, I thought it was kind of a bizarre matchup to be throwing out there, to be honest with you. Because I see what Pitbull could get from it. Like if he go out there and beat this guy, that's gonna put him on the map. But how much credit is Shakur gonna get if he go out there and beat this guy? I don't think he'll get a lot. But just thinking about him getting an acclamation fight to 135, I think this is a great opponent. Pitbull Cruz does have an amateur background. He was about 73 and 15, maybe 73 and 12, somewhere off in there. So he got the background. He got some pretty good wins as a pro. The Eduardo Ramirez guy, he knocked him the fuck out in his last fight. He's very strong, you know what I'm saying? But like at first, I thought people were just blowing smoke when they said he didn't want to fight because I thought people were just taking what Bob Arum said and been running with it. But I saw some videos and shit, and it do look like he might be ducking this fight. And I think he just knows the type of matchups that give him problems. Like if you in the ring every day, you know the type of styles that you match up best with. And he seems to understand that, hey, if I get off in there with a real slick, intelligent fighter that can move, that's gonna give me problems. And it looked like he might be wanting to avoid that type of fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's bad on him as a fighter. You should be ready and willing to fight anybody at all times. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's what's going on. Like he sees Shakur Stevenson as a matchup that he doesn't match up well against. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely got you. The
I got
game.
Shakur though. I think Shakur outboxing easy.
Yeah, me too. I think he has a hell of a trouble trying to come in like that on Shakur. Shakur can squabble like a motherfucker on his back foot. Cat like reflexes. Hell of an IQ. I think he had a problem. Hey, the Kane in the building. Salute. What's good, bro? Gil
You know, you
Cole's in
might be
the
getting
building. Salute, bro. What's happening?
salute to my boy Gil Coles, man. Man, I've been so happy that them damn Bucks been winning for my boy Gil Coles, man, because his whole personality just changed when them boys went on their losing streak. But ever since they've been winning again, my man is full of life, man. Welcome back.
I know one thing. It's looking like we about to get that Keith Thurman action. You know what I'm saying? About to see Keith Thurman on this retirement.
Yeah, I had said that I wasn't really trying to be calling these guys fights on pay-per-views and shit because we not getting the fight that we want. But that's my boy Gil Cole's favorite fighter. So I already said that if him and Earl Spence fight, I'm gonna go ahead and call the fight in honor of my boy Gil Cole. You know what I'm saying?
Judge Joseph Brown in the building. Salute, Joe Brown. What's good, bro?
Judge Joe Brown. Hey, I gotta say salute to my boy Judge Joe Brown for being here tonight. A straight cardiac kid got to deal with them motherfucking Philadelphia Eagles, going life and death with teams like the Colts, the Washington Redskins, the Houston Texans, and all that kind of shit. Hey man, I had made one bet in the NFL last week, and I took them Colts in 8 points. And I thought they were gonna go out there and beat them people outright. Man, them folks had one job: go out there and take care of them Eagles. And they got that late pass interference call that gave them an easy touchdown and shit. You know what I'm saying? But salute to my boy, the cardiac kid, Judge O'Brien. We gonna do something with them boys when we had that rematch too, man. Y'all seen what them Cowboys did this past weekend. The stars at night shall be again bright. Y'all already know. I was gonna say, man, that nigga over there seems like he getting his station set up. So you want to scroll up and read some of these comments?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask him did he have it ready yet.
Ain't no telling what that young man got going on. I guess he'll jump in when he get his shit together though.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he done jumped out now.
He be back. What was it? I go right here.
I
Uh,
scroll up right here, bro. D'Lo say Ryan can crack for certain. That's for sure. He tried to help me with the Fortuna. And he said, yeah, Tank seems to be a textbook lefty, whereas right hand is just a helper. I gotta disagree with you on that, bro. When I be thinking about fighters like that, I think about like Regis Prograis. When he had fought against Josh Taylor, one of the reasons why I picked Josh Taylor because I felt like he fought with both hands instead of just setting you up with the lead hand and hurting you with the backhand. I see a lot of that from Regis Prograis. Saw the same thing with Guillermo Rigondeaux. type of guy that set you up with the lead hand, hurt you with the backhand, but don't really have a right hook. I think Tank got a real good right hook, man. One of my favorite Tank highlights is Tank Davis threw like was it a 163? It was something like that, but the last punch was a 3 and it went right around the guard. Perfect right hook. And it got caught in the dude's gloves. And he had to try to pull his arm out and shit because it was just such a perfectly placed right hook. I think Tank Davis is a two-handed fighter. I don't think he just hurt you with the left hand. What you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree with you. I, I think he I ain't gonna say even handed. I think his left hand definitely a strong hand. But I think he'll set you up with the left, and I mean with the right. And I think he can hurt you with the right. I think what's the name is the same though. I think he a little more heavy handed than this with his left hook. Ryan Garcia, he got a strong ass left hook, and his right hand is quick and strong. So I think he probably a little more stronger in both hands than Tank. I think Tank definitely got power in both hands.
I disagree a little bit, man, because I don't think Ryan got much of a right hand. Whenever I see Ryan hurt somebody, it's always with the left hook. When I see him training in the gym, he always working on the left hook, rarely the right hand. I see him doing them challenges. He be doing a body shot challenge where he be hitting motherfuckers with body shots and shit, them big ass UFC motherfuckers. And it's always the left hook, left hook, left hook, left hook, never the right hand. So I think he's more of a one-handed fighter than Tank. But the thing is, I don't mind the guy that's real active with his lead hand. I always talk about lead hand dominance, and well, not dominance, but education. Um, like it was a fight that Charlie Burley had with Fritzy Zivic, their third fight. They said that he won this fight with only throwing 6 right hands in the whole fight. It was a 10-round fight. So he basically beat this man with one hand. Scrapbook was telling me about Old Bones, Joe Brown. I had went to watch some of his old fights. Straight lead hand education. So I ain't got no problem with that. But I do notice that Ryan don't really hurt people with the right hand the way he hurt them with the left hook. All right, we go to the next one. Big, you about to say something, bro?
No, go ahead.
Big Bear said, "What y'all think of the Vargas dynasty?" I ain't seen enough, but I damn sure like that knockout I saw last week from one of them youngsters. Hit that dude with a left hook right on the tip of the chin. It kind of remind me of like some old Riddick Bowe shit, because Riddick Bowe had a knack for hitting people right on the tip of the chin. But yeah, that shit was nice, man. So it looked like they off to a good start. I think he might have a youngster that's fighting this weekend. I think I heard one time Lawrence Williams, L-Dub talking about that shit. I got to go back and make sure, but I'm gonna be paying attention to him though, man. You know, we like to keep up with the prospects and shit. You got a chance to check out any of them young Vargas kids?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see the junior. Right, I think he is the youngest one. I seen him in the gym working out, getting ready to turn pro.
The
I
one
want
with
to
the
see.
little afro?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to see what he do. But I did see the knockout. It was pretty good. I think they got a chance. He looked pretty buff too. You know what I mean? He didn't look too sharp. He didn't look too sharp with his punches, but he looked real strong. But he gonna have to tighten that up though. But, he got some skill. We gonna see what he do later on that month.
All right. D'Lo said I had motherfuckers calling me a Canelo hater because I said I can't see him stopping no Golovkin. Yo, you know we couldn't see that shit, bro. Ain't nobody ever stopped Golovkin. Hell, I don't think he ever been dropped. He got saved one time from a body shot from Derevyanchenko, but it's hard to go out there and knock out Golovkin. Charles D said fighters cut weight, so Garcia moving up 5 pounds ain't shit. He most likely walks around at 140. Yeah, the weight ain't really much of an issue to me. I think they said that the fight supposed to be at 136 or something like that. So I wasn't really thinking about the weight too much. Maybe I should, but I haven't been. I see Ms. Armor Brown saying what's up to everybody. D'Lo said Pitbull versus Stevenson is basically just a suggestion by the WBC. There is no fight to pull out of, but he definitely don't want it with Shakur. I was looking at them tweets and shit they were going back and forth. I didn't get the impression that he wanted to fight Shakur. I'm gonna try to get better on saying that man's name right, because I be saying the country as Shakur. So I gotta say Shakur. Charles D said Barrios gave Tank hell to Ryan Smart. He'll fight long distance. Yeah, that's what people like to say. Like when you fighting somebody like Tank, because you know he a shorter type guy. To me, I always live by the creed of stepping to the line. I just don't think you need to be letting the lion hunt you down all night. I think you need to let him know that you can be hurt also instead of fighting so defensive. But one thing that I don't like about Ryan Garcia is his ability to maintain range, like a lot of people like to say. I would see him in, I saw him sparring Rolly Ramiro one time, but Rolly Ramiro just closed that space whenever he got good and ready. And that was something that I held against Ryan Garcia. And if Tank Davis is able to close the space whenever he get ready, it's gonna be problems. Because me personally, I haven't seen Ryan Garcia go out there and box a masterpiece from long range. To me, he seemed more like a mid-range type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I expect him to come with. I just think he's gonna have to be first and make Tank prove that he's a good counterpuncher. I know he done named some nice counterpunches, but he ain't had to counter nobody that's hitting hard as Ryan Garcia. All it takes is one mistake and the man can be getting up off the canvas. You know what I'm saying? So I think that Ryan needs to try to be first in this fight. What you think is the best strategy for this motherfucker Ryan Garcia to beat Tank?
Yeah, he definitely gonna have to control the distance. He gonna need to make Tank pay for trying to come in, especially with those stabbing lead left hand to the body.
Yeah, that's what he hit that boy Campbell with, man. The most vicious body shot I ever seen.
Yeah, he gonna definitely gonna have to try to make Tank pay for that because that shit gonna wear him down, especially with the gas tank he got. Cause down the stretch he do fade, so um, he gonna have to control the distance, make Tank pay, and try to find that lead left hand somewhere to the body, whether it's up top, because it's been working for him. He gonna have to be accurate with that motherfucker, and I think he'll make Tank think on his way coming in. And that's probably his keys to victory.
Yeah, he had that check hook waiting too, man. Delos, okay, I read that, I think. Charles D said, okay, I read that, I'm tripping. J1 Pro said, okay, that makes sense, Trey X. What makes sense? So he must be talking about my pedigree scale breakdown. Delos said, hell of a matchup. That wasn't my hang up, but I'm over it all at this point. Hopefully it goes down. Yeah, hopefully that shit goes down. I see Miss Almond Brown. Let me scroll down. Charles D. Shakur. Yeah, I'm gonna try to tighten up on my pronunciation. Gil Cole, salute to you. Charles D said Shakur will walk him down after 6. I don't know about that walk down, man, because it looked like Garcia got some power that can linger in the fight. I think Tank gonna have to be on guard. I don't know if it's a simple fight like this. Like he able to walk down somebody like Leo Santa Cruz, but you got to understand that Leo Santa Cruz started his career around 122. That's a naturally small man. This guy Ron Garcia, he ain't never fought below 135 if I'm not mistaken. This is a guy that's gonna move up to 140 and 147. This is legitimate bigger man than Tank Davis, and he got some comparable power. If Tank Davis is a 9.5, I'm gonna give Ryan Garcia 8.5 or like an 8.8 or something like that. I really think he got real power in that left hook. So I don't think that Tank needs to just straight walk him down. I think Tank needs to be a little tricky. Let the taller man come to him at sometimes so he can give up the height itself. Like when people think about the shorter man fighting the taller man, we normally think about the shorter man going forward trying to get on the inside. But you can also give up some ground and get some ground. That's why I say that shit when I'm calling fights. That's when you take a step back and let the man come to you and give up the space and give up the height itself and walk him into some shots. I think that'll give Tank a good chance. Charles D said PB will back out. Who the fuck is PB? Y'all know I'm slow, man. You got to give me an antecedent when you're talking about them acronyms. Gil Cole said it's a beautiful day. The motherfucking Bucks out there trying to win something. Yeah, we're going to see, man. I'm kind of worried about them Bucks a little bit. I ain't going to lie. But I think them Cowboys, I think we got something for y'all.
Eric R in the building. Salute, bro.
Salute.
Gil over there laughing, talking about Keith. When I see you, Gil.
Judge O'Brown say salute to the corner. Gil Cole said Keith about to shock the world. He going to shock the world? If the motherfuckers fight, man, I'm going to try to call the fight. Joseph Brown said Tank hurt old boy with the right hook. The one Thurman went the distance in his last fight. He did. It was a lead right hook he hit Barrios, but that's a good point, bro. I forgot about that shit. It's like as soon as I read that, I saw it in my head where he stepped in with that lead right hook on Barrios' ass. So that's why I say he can hurt you with both hands. He ain't the type of guy that got to set you up with the lead hand and hurt you with the backhand. He can hurt you with both of them.
Hey, what's up with this name here, social scientist guy? What you trying to do, King? You shooting shots at my boy Ray, huh?
They said that Splendor Ray Leonard and counterfeit. What's going down, bro? If you can hear us. I think this man having all kind of technical difficulties tonight, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let him get his shit together. Gil Cole said Barrios was weight drained in that tank fight. He might have been. What you trying to say? He wasn't weight drained against Keith Thurman, huh, man? D-Lo said, ooh, I stand corrected. I forgot about that nasty right hook knockout. Yeah, absolutely. That lead right hook that he hit on Barrios, man, that shit was pretty. I really love them type of punches once they get the jab established. You know what I'm saying? Eric Carr say salute. Duquesne Deal said, man, I don't know what's going on with my sound tonight. All right, man, shit, I don't know what. I ain't an expert on that shit. What you about to say, bro?
Shit, nothing. Everything supposed to be connected. He ain't came off mute though. He ain't tried. Try it. Come off mute.
Yeah, I ain't even seen him try it. But a fight that I've been talking about here recently that's taking place this weekend is Jermaine Franklin going to go fight uh Dillian White. You remember who Jermaine Franklin is, bro?
I think I do.
He was one of those heavyweights. We were making fun of him and shit because we said he was looking like trash. I think we called a fight when he fought against Roddell Booker, and he had his cousin that was training him, and we was clowning the nigga and his cousin and shit. But he an American heavyweight. He about 6'2". That's what they got him listed as. He about 21-0 with like 14 knockouts. He was a 3.5 on the pedigree scale. He a national Golden Gloves champion. Fought some good people in the amateurs like Cam F. Awesome. He's supposed to be going to the UK to go fight Dillian White. They got Dillian White as a massive favorite over this dude. They got him like minus 1,400, so that's 14-1 odds. You bet $100, they're gonna give you about $7. You know what I'm saying? The guy got some pretty good hand speed, and he got a pretty good jab, and he moved his head a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna be enough to beat Dillian White. Plus, he hasn't been very active. Like he only had one fight since 2019. In his last fight, he weighed in at 277 pounds, and I think that's the heaviest of his career. He seems to do his best work around 235, 245 range. You know what I'm saying? But he got a big fight against Dillian White this weekend. Eddie Hearn already told him if he beat Dillian White, he gonna get Anthony Joshua next. And he said you're gonna make millions. You know what I'm saying? So he got an incentive, to go over there and win the fight. But it's the United States against the UK in a big heavyweight fight. I'm gonna see what everybody thought about it. Eric R said that Hector Garcia is an excellent fight for Tank. Yeah, I think Tank go out there and knock the dude out though. Southpaw on Southpaw. Them lanes are gonna be wide open in that fight. I do got respect for Hector Garcia though. He did some good work against Lil B Hop. His last fight didn't impress me though, especially coming down the stretch. You know what I'm saying? I think that guy last name was Gutierrez or something like that. But he started to catch up to Hector Garcia a little bit late in that fight. I think Tank could go out there and knock him out like mid rounds, like KO7 or something like that. Yeah, but when you get a chance, bro, check out Jermaine Franklin. That's supposed to be one of our top heavyweight prospects. And he about to go over there and fight Dillian White.
All right, good. Seen unseen boxing. Salute, man.
Salute. He said, salute my brother MARLO'S corner. Salute my brother Trey X. And salute to the chat. What's going down?
Salute. Elo in the building. Salute, bro. What's happening?
Hey, what's good? What's good?
I was about to say, like, God damn, is it our shit?
Nah, my mute button. I hit my mute button twice. I thought it was off.
going down with you?
Shoot, man, nothing much, man. Just glad to get the opportunity to talk a little boxing, man. We got a good, a busy weekend of boxing coming up. Hopefully everything on tap goes down.
What fight you looking forward to?
Oh man, I want to see I want to see how old Franklin can do against Dillian White, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of I know he's supposed to be in over his head, but then again, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I like that fight. Which is odd because I usually don't look forward to watching Dillian White fight anybody, but I like that one.
I do too. It's an intriguing fight.
Yeah.
Especially with the odds and shit, man. I want to wait till the weigh-in before I really just make my mind up who I think gonna win, because this guy Franklin came in at 277 in his last fight. If he come in about 250 or something, man, I know that he's serious.
Good point. Hey, you brought up his fight with Rydell Booker. I actually saw in one of the Facebook groups earlier this evening that I think Stephen Shaw is gonna fight Rydell Booker. I think it's tomorrow night somewhere.
Yeah, it's coming up this week for sure. Rydell Booker ain't no joke, man. The only person to ever stop him is Philip Ergovich. You know what I'm saying? So he the type of guy that's always gonna give you some good work. And he was a high-ranked amateur back in the day, because he's 38 years old now. But back in the day, he was a high-ranked amateur. Matter of fact, he was the number one ranked heavyweight in the United States in the amateurs. So he always come and fight back. He got a good chin. He kind of crafty. He can counterpunch you. He was giving Jermaine Franklin some problems in that fight. I had rewatched that fight. We actually called that fight, but I rewatched the fight like yesterday or earlier today or some shit like that. But yeah, I was impressed with Booker. But Franklin, he got some pretty good hand speed. He got a little bit of head movement. Got a real good jab. That's one thing that I know that he has an advantage over Dillian White that I be looking at. Like his jab is definitely superior. It's sharper and it's faster. Dillian White, he really didn't start off with a good jab. He developed a jab over time. And Dillian White only had 6 amateur fights. You know what I'm saying? They said that it was some kind of controversy about his kickboxing career that made him have to leave the amateur ranks early. But his team really wanted to keep him as an amateur though. But he only had 6 fights, you know what I'm saying? But they said he was wrecking shit. He beat Anthony Joshua. They say he put a dude in a coma from a knockout in the amateur fight. So I guess they show his talent level, I guess. But one thing also about Dillian White that kind of concerns me for Franklin is Dillian White beat Oscar Rivas, and Oscar Rivas had a deep amateur background. And I actually picked Dillian White in that fight back in the day because he can fight on the inside and fight on the outside. And he beat Povetkin. He done beat some pretty decent guys. I want to pick Franklin, but I think I got to go with Dillian White. Who you think gonna win? I thought we was having a conversation.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that, man. I thought you was talking to open it up for the panel. I went with Franklin by decision, but I mean it wasn't an easy pick to make, man. I mean, I feel like Dillian White. It kind of depends on which version of what each guy shows up, man. What kind of, like you said, if Franklin comes in there in decent shape, you know what I'm saying, he took it serious, and you would expect him to have a better showing, being that he's in better shape and he had a better count. White subject to come in looking any kind of way himself, you know what I'm saying? Just depends sometimes. And it seemed like a lot of time with White is the guys that he ain't seem like he's not really motivated for the fight, or he expect to just beat the guy because they ain't on a certain level. Those are the fights that he show up out of shape for. So it's a lot of that, like you said, the scale might tell it all. So but like I said, I went with Franklin, but it was kind of an emotional pick. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had just I felt like I had gone to pick somebody because I know I'm gonna have a busy late part of the week, and I want to go on and get my picks out of the way.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards White right now, but don't be surprised if I lock in with you on Franklin. Man, it's hard for me to go against that damn scale, and that man is a 3.5 on that scale. He beat some solid guys in the amateur, so I might lock in with you.
Tail or two scales, huh? It depends on your amateur scale, and then it can depend on the scale.
Yeah, that's really what I'm waiting to see. I want to see what he gonna come in. Because even though Dillian White is a naturally bigger man, Dillian White is not the type of guy to throw his weight around. He's not the type of guy to lean on you and shit like that. He really like a clean fighter, like as far as the range that he fight from, like a mid-range type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really looking at his size advantages being the same type of size advantage as somebody like Tyson Fury would have. Somebody that's gonna lean on you and wring your ass around the neck and fuck you up. He not like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that gives Franklin an opportunity to use his hand speed. But for right now, I'm leaning towards White, like I said. But if Franklin come in on that scale and he 245, 250, I'm gonna go ahead and ride with Franklin.
Well, Dylan White, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. What's up, bro?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Dylan White was using his size against what's his face, Joseph Parker. I don't know if that's because he got tired and was just leaning on him, but yeah, he was doing a little bit of that in that fight.
I don't even remember that fight, just Chris in my mind. We actually called that fight. I had picked Joseph Park and A. Crow and shit. But you might got a good point, man. I got to go back and check it out.
Yeah. But hey, I had a question about your about the amateur scale, right? About the 3.5. You said a national champion make a 3.5, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So is that any national champion? Like the UK national champion is still a 3.5 or what?
You know what? I was just thinking about that shit because I just seen evidence that their national champions ain't the same. And I'm talking about from major countries. Like we just had a cruiserweight fight, right, with this guy Ergarov. He fight this dude Gula Marian or some shit like that from France. He trained by Abel Sanchez. And I picked Ergarov because Ergarov was a national champion in Russia. Russia is probably the second most respected country in the amateurs behind Cuba. And the motherfucker went out there and lost. And there was another fight. I can't think of this guy's name, man. He a Cuban, but he lived in Poland, and he fought a Polish fighter in his last fight. But this guy won several national championships in Cuba. So you would think like, damn, okay, that's some good shit. But he went out there and laid the egg too. So it seems like I'm noticing that if you're a national champion in America, that shit hit different than being a national champion in another country, even the top countries like Cuba and Russia. So
Right.
I'm thinking about mending that shit, man. Because right now I just been looking at it like blanket 3.5 if you're a national champion in your country. But I do recognize the fact that being in America and winning the national champion is a lot more valuable than being a national champion in another country.
Okay.
It's
See
it's
the
just,
reason? Okay.
it's just boxing. Salute, fam. Rod X a champ in the building. Salute.
Ooh.
Go ahead, King.
Yeah, the reason I was asking that because one of my most anticipated fights this weekend is Jamie Mitchell versus Nina Hughes. And Nina Hughes is a seven-time national champion, but she's from the UK. She 40 years old, but she fought, obviously she was in the amateurs a while. She currently in the pros, she 4-0 with two knockouts, and Jamie Mitchell is 8-0 with five knockouts. So they pretty heavy punchers, both of them. So I mean that's gonna be a pretty action-packed fight. It's basically gonna be looking to see who might get knocked out first. But I was just wondering where Nina Hughes might rank as a seven-time national champion in the UK.
Just looking at the scale in a basic way, I would say like a 3.5, especially she got seven of them. But the
Yeah.
thing is that I've noticed though, like when fighters have deep amateur backgrounds, but they old though, like they in their late 30s and shit like that. I
Yeah.
always wonder like why? What went on in your life that made you have this background, but you didn't come on the scene as a youngster? Were you not in boxing? Did you get a late start to this shit? Did you get away from boxing and take a break for a few years? What happened? Because most of the time, if a fighter come in the game late with a deep amateur background, they don't always have the same type of results as the young fighters that come in with a deep amateur background. And I actually looked at this fight. I was leaning towards Nina Hughes or whatever her name is because of her background, but I can't ignore her being 40. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I might change my pick and ride with the other chick.
Well, you gotta look at it at the same time. Jamie Mitchell is like 38, so
I know,
they ain't
but I
far
like
apart.
her win. Yeah, I like the win that she got though. What's the name of that woman she beat for the belt?
Shannon Courtney.
Yeah, she a pretty tough woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta have some respect for that win right there.
Well, they take a little off that win because Shannon Courtney had a fucked up knee in that fight. But
Okay,
also in her last fight though, she beat the dog shit out of Carly Skelly, and Carly Skelly ain't no easy fight. So I don't know.
okay,
She got
okay.
some power. Jamie Mitchell do.
Yeah, I've been paying a little bit more attention to the women, man. I was looking at that Courtney. She got some pretty tough names on her resume. You know what I'm saying? It looked like she'd have been out there with some pretty good fighters. So her going out there beating that woman seemed to hold a little bit of weight. And I think Courtney can punch a little bit too.
Oh
Seems like
yeah,
she might have like a 50% knockout percentage or something like that.
yeah. She a heavy puncher for women's division. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Let me jump in the chat. Eric, oh, go ahead, bro.
Now, I was gonna say I looked at the fight. I kind of looked at the age and stuff too, man. And I went with Mitchell in the fight, man. I just felt like I think I picked her by stoppage at that, maybe like mid round stoppage or something. I just felt like I just feel like the other girl just like she might have spent all her gas in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying?
Might have, man. One time said he leaning towards Mitchell too. That's who he picked. Said he thinks she got better skills. I got to go back and really look at the skills. I just been reading about them. I ain't watched them fight yet. You know what I'm saying? So I need to do that, and plus I need to trust myself on these eye test shit. The last week, like that damn Ergarov fight, I looked at the motherfuckers fight, and I knew that other dude fought better, but I picked Ergarov anyway because of the amateur background. You know what I'm saying? Eric Ross said, would you say that Hector is a more dangerous fight than Ryan? Hell no. Absolutely not. I respect the man. The man was an Olympian and all that kind of shit, but Ryan Garcia is a naturally bigger man, and I think he has significantly more power than Garcia, and I think his power carries. I'm telling you, man, when I looked at Hector Garcia in the last fight against that Gutierrez, I was not impressed coming down the stretch. It seemed like he survived the end of the fight. Like he got off to such a good start that he was up on points, but he kind of survived coming down the stretch. So I pumped my brakes on him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think Tank could go out there and knock him out. What y'all think, man? Y'all think that Ryan Garcia or Hector Garcia the tougher opponent?
I think Hector's more proven. You know what I'm saying? Like but he ain't proven at 135, and I look at it like I respect the guys that Hector beat when he beat him over the guy that Ryan beat thus far. And you know what I'm saying? And I also felt like Ryan, I look at how Ryan was, backing away from opportunities because Ryan could have some more names on his resume, win or lose. He just, certain opportunities he kind of shied away from for whatever reason or another. So I respect Hector's accomplishment better, but I think when you put him in the ring, versus Tank, I think Ryan matches up. I think Ryan presents more problems for Tank than Hector Garcia, but I think Hector Garcia, has his own problems. He gonna give Tank too, but I think, like you said, the problem with Tank Davis, no matter who he fight, we done seen Tank down on the cards, and we done seen Tank not look his best, but usually once Tank catches a guy, so it's gonna change the fight, So I think at some point, like you said, Hector Garcia gonna get stopped, and I kind of, what I'm saying, I kind of feel like even if he fought a perfect fight, he still end up getting stopped at some point versus Tank.
What about you, Marlo? Who you think more dangerous? The dude that went out there and beat Little B Hop or Ryan Garcia?
Yeah, I think Ryan more dangerous. That ain't taking nothing from Hector. I mean, he did handle his business versus B Hop, but I think Ryan is more dangerous. I think Campbell and Fortuna was better fights than what Hector been in there with. But I could be wrong to my opinion. But I definitely had to go with Ryan being the more dangerous
I mean, hey, you can't take the gold medal away from Luke Campbell, and Fortuna was 196 and 16, so he wasn't no slouch his own motherfucking self. But I agree with D'Lo when he say that he respect the victories from Hector Garcia, and that's based off of what we feel about Little B Hop. We got to see what's gonna happen with him moving forward, because hell, he might end up being like an Indongo and start getting his ass whooped every fight after this. You never know.
Hey, he might end up like my boy Mary Mom.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to see what go on with him. But if we gonna assume that he is a true phenom, like we was predicting him to be, and Hector Garcia got a win over one of them young phenoms, we got to give credit to that. What about you, DeCane? Who you think more dangerous, Hector Garcia or Ryan Garcia?
I think Hector is more skilled, but I don't know. I feel like Ryan been being groomed for this tank fight his whole career. So I mean, he might come in there with a different type of hunger. Plus, he don't want to upset all his little female fans. So, but yeah, I think Hector is the more skilled fighter of the two. But I mean, I don't know what kind of power this dude got at 135. I know Ryan will knock you out at 135. So he got more power. So based on power, I say Ryan, but skill wise, I think Garcia could pull out be more liable to pull off an upset.
Yeah, I agree with you on that power. And one of the main things for me is that we thinking about this versus Tank Davis. Tank Davis is a southpaw, so if he gonna go in there with an experienced southpaw, experienced amateur orthodox fighter with power, that presents more of a chess match. If he gonna be fighting against another southpaw, them lanes are wide open, y'all. I really want y'all to pay attention when y'all see southpaw versus southpaw and look at how many knockouts take place. Like the first one off the top of my head is El Rayo when he went out there and fought that motherfucker that went the distance with that damn 3 on the pedigree scale, like William Foster the third. I can't think of his name. The guy that was 269 and 6 amateur record. He lost to William Foster the third though, but that was Southpaw on Southpaw. El Rayo got his ass knocked the fuck out. Y'all really pay attention, man. When the knockouts increase when you see Southpaw versus Southpaw, and it makes. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say it makes sense because that's something that they don't see every day. You know what I'm saying? And the lanes are wide open, just like when you see orthodox versus orthodox. That's when you see the jab get established. If you want to take a jab away, like Terrence Crawford versus Victor Postal, you switch southpaw and you put that lateral movement on their ass, like Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hitman Hearns. You know what I'm saying? The combination of that to take the jab away. But if you orthodox on orthodox or southpaw on southpaw, like think about Bam Rodriguez when he fought Soran Visa. Soran Visa ain't been stopped in years, man. He ain't been stopped like since his first 4-5 fights. But he go out there with Bam Rodriguez, a naturally smaller man, and go out there and get his ass whooped all over the ring against another southpaw. So if it's a fighter going against Tank, southpaw and southpaw, the lanes are open, man. I think Tank is gonna catch him.
Now, what I was gonna say is, you think about Sergio Martinez versus Paul Williams. You know what I'm saying? Paul Williams wasn't nowhere near being stopped. You know, in other fights, you know, I mean, he got hurt against Margarito late, got a big old lump. But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, he was holding it down. But you know what I'm saying, when it came to that Sergio Martinez fighting their second one, man, like you said, lane wide open, and he got stopped with a left hook by a left hander. So it's just, you know what I'm saying, one of them things that, you know, it's a prime example of it.
Yeah, for sure. And we sit up for long enough, we can think of quite a few examples. You know what I'm saying? Eric Carr said, I want to see Regis versus Zapata. We talking about calling that shit, man. It's on the zone, so I can't just give a straight promise, but we're going to try to see what's up. D-Lo done gave me the damn Roku, and I got the better Wi-Fi now, so it look like my shit can handle it. Judge Joe Brown said, White has a new trainer in Buddy McGirt. See how that works for White. Okay, I ain't know about that. That's definitely something to take into consideration. Gil Cole said, I heard the Bud, the new Scumbo Baggins. Yeah, that motherfucker. Eric Carr said, White won't go away. Right. It's like he gets motivated for the guys he should beat on this level and don't show up versus the B level and elite fighters. All right. He damn sure showed up for Oscar Rivas, man. And for Joseph Parker. You know what I'm saying? He definitely got the better, more impressive resume. Even with his 2 knockout defeats or however many times he been knocked out, he got the more impressive resume at heavyweight than Jermaine Franklin for sure. It's just boxing. Salute to you. Right as a champ, what's up, my people? Eric R said, so we have skill versus talent. That's a fairly common matchup in boxing. Got me thinking about Roy Jones versus James Toney and shit. Mr. Pigeon, what's up with you? Said Regis beat Taylor. For me, it was 7-5. When I first called the fight, I thought Regis Prograis might have pulled it off. But I got me a little time, man. I got me some bud, and I watched that fight up close. Like I got a quiet spot, and I looked at this fight up close, and I was looking at what was landing, and I saw how rough and physical that Josh Taylor was being with Prograis in the pocket, and I started having more respect for his work, and I thought that Josh Taylor went out there and got that shit when I reviewed the fight again. But I understand why you thought that he won. A lot of people felt like he won, like I said, including me. People on the panel probably think the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It was a good fight. Eric R said Margarito had cast iron hand wraps with his crooked ass. Yeah, absolutely. The motherfucker should have went to jail for that shit. But props to Kodo, man. That was Kodo hung tough as he could for as long as he could. Hell, he was putting hands on Margarito. But he came back in the rematch and did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Went out there and outboxed that man. And props to Sugar Shane Mosley them for catching that motherfucker, not letting them put them hand wraps on them. You know what I'm saying? So who y'all think gonna win this Prograis fight this weekend?
I went with Prograis. I think eventually he'll wear him down and stop him if he don't, But it's one of them things like who can land that big shot first, Because Prograis just got a hell of a chin, so I figure he'll be able to take the shots better. So I went with Prograis by stoppage. I can't remember what round.
What about you, bro? Who you like out of Prograis and my man Zepeda?
Man, I was thinking about Zepeda, Power, man. I think if Prograis go up in there and let the man use his face as defense, like he's been doing, getting the habit of doing, I think Zepeda might hurt the boy, put the boy down. But I think Rega's gonna have his game plan together to tighten up his defense and beat that body up. I see Riga stopping Zepeda somewhere late, body shot, maybe even up top. But I got Riga's. Mr. Pigeon World Cup Live, salute, fam. Welcome. L Dub in the building. Salute, bro. What's happening?
Salute. What about you, DeCane?
Man, I got to ride with my Negro Prograis, man. I think he number one at 140 besides Josh Taylor. And depending on how you feel about that fight, he is number one. So, I agree with him. When he say these little balls at 140 cannot fuck with me. I fuck with that. I think he the one.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about this shit earlier, but he do got the deeper amateur background. I mean, we got a 3.5 going against a guy with 15 amateur fights. So what he like a 0.5 or 1 or some shit. I don't know what he accomplished in his 15 fights, but that's not very experienced. But I know we got the professional experience though. But I'm just saying, like as an all-around fighter, we got a guy that was 87-7 and ranked number 4 in the country. And Regis Prograis. But this is another one of them southpaw fights. And they can be kind of tricky, or they can be some unpredictable shit can happen. If Zepeda catching with that left hand, it can be problems for Prograis. But Prograis got one of the best chins that I've seen in a recent fight game. I ain't never seen the man wobble or nothing, and I done seen him take some pretty solid shots. He beat a motherfucker from the UK that's a southpaw, walk straight through him. So it looked like he got a style that matches up well with southpaws. But I can say the same thing about Zepeda when he fought against Josue Vargas. Because Josue Vargas, that was southpaw on southpaw. And we see what happened. One thing about Zepeda, man, he kind of fight with his head up. He's seeing everything. And I think that makes him a better counterpuncher than what he would be otherwise. Because, like I said, he only got 15 amateur fights, man. But one thing you can say about him is that he finds them counters. And if he catch you with that left hand, your ass can go down. If you like Zepeda as a betting favorite, this is the time to bet on him because all of the money is coming in on Prograis. The motherfucker opened up at minus 300, and last time I saw, he was like minus 450. So the money coming in on Prograis, don't nobody believe in Zepeda. I'm gonna have to lean towards Prograis. I think he got the better overall skill set. But like I said, this is the type of fight that some unexpected shit can happen. Southpaw on Southpaw. And that's one reason why I want to call the fight. I think it's a high level fight. Uh, one of the best fights that can be made in the division. Like DeCane just said, I got respect for Prograis. I got respect for Zepeda. You know what I'm saying? So shit, let the best man win. But I'm gonna go ahead and ride with Prograis.
It's Lex in the building. Salute, sis.
What's up with it?
So we got a 3.5 against a rolling paper, huh?
So yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
about a 0.5.
619 Cali Factor in the building. Salute, bro. What's happening?
Yeah, 15 fights is only 5 fights outside of being a novice. Like after you get 10 fights, you can go open class. But you also got special cases where your coach can move you up faster. Like if you only got 2 or 3 fights, but you clearly superior to all novices, they can move you up faster. So I don't know what happened with Zepeda, but just looking at him in a general context, he only 5 fights away from being a novice for most people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know he's not a novice, but I'm just saying that's where his amateur background went. Let me look up in the chat a little bit. Eric Carr talking to this motherfucker, Mr. Pigeon 619 Dago. What's up, bro? So I got Regis winning, but won't be surprised if Zepeda win. He dangerous. I'm with you on that, man. He definitely got a punch a chance. You know what I'm saying? L does says Zepeda was having trouble with Lundy when he went southpaw. Regis is in his prime. I like Regis by unanimous decision, similar to the Terry Flanagan fight. I didn't even see that fight that Zepeda had with Lundy. I forgot. I did hear that he had some problems with Lundy though. I'm gonna have to go back and check out the film, but that does not surprise me that you said he had problems when Lundy went southpaw, because that makes that matchup southpaw on southpaw. They don't see that often. Most people when they get in the ring, they get in the ring with orthodox fighters. You know what I'm saying? So when you get that southpaw on southpaw, man, anything can happen. Mr. Pigeon said it's 4 a.m. here. It's 4 in the morning. He must be in the UK. Eric Carr said, Tregs, what would an Andy Ruiz versus Dillian White look like to you? You don't have to break it down. Do you think it's a good matchup? Yeah, it's a good matchup. You got two motherfuckers that's gonna come to each other. Like they ain't gonna be out there trying to do a bunch of boxing. I done seen Dillian White fight on the inside, fight on the outside. Derek Chisora, Oscar Reeves type motherfuckers. We know what Andy Ruiz can do on the inside with his frame. He got fast hands. Both of them throw punches. They ain't real shy about throwing punches. Both of them try to counter punch in their own way. Orthodox on orthodox, so that take a lot of the chess match off the board because we got a mirror matchup. Both of them got good punching power. I think Dillian White probably got the most power with that left hook though, man. That motherfucker hit you with that left hook, you can have problems, man. He can knock out any man in the world with that left hook. But Ruiz can fight too, though, man. He got a deep amateur background, 105-5. He a 3.5 on the pedigree scale. He might be a 4 now that I think about it. I think he's an Olympian. I think he might have won a fight at the Olympics. I got to go back and check that out, though. But he at least a 3.5. I would probably lean towards Andy Ruiz to go out there and beat him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got a common opponent. One person got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. The other one is 1-1 against Joshua. So I guess you can look at that a little bit if you in the triangle theories. But I like the fight. I think Andy Ruiz will beat him. What y'all think? Y'all think Andy Ruiz will beat Dillian White? What you think, bro?
I think that'll be a good ass matchup. Yeah, and I think Andy Ruiz probably will. He's way more active with his hand. He tough. He probably go down a few times, but I think he definitely could beat Dylan White though.
What about you, D-Lo?
Yeah, I think it could be a good fight. Definitely a good fight worth making if they ever get interested in doing so. I think the hand speed advantage for Andy would probably help him win the fight on the cards if he don't stop if neither one of them gets stopped. I'd have to favor Andy in that.
Okay. Let me look up in the chat a little bit. Mr. Pigeon said Prograis training camp is good too. I've seen it. He in great shape. Yeah, I don't think I ever seen him come to the ring just straight out of shape. He always seemed to be in good shape with a good motor. Eric R said, I got kind of excited hearing Regis saying he can make 140 for his career. There are a lot of fights at this division for Prograde. It's going to be heating up even more soon because a lot of them guys at 135 are going to be moving up to 140. You know what I'm saying? It's about to get deep in that division. And it's already deep. L Does said Charles Conwell is in the Zapata Prograde undercard too. Good card. All right, we got to check out Charles Conwell.
Hey,
132 and 14, motherfucker. Go ahead.
hey, I was actually gonna ask L Dub, is Conwell the dude that didn't he hurt somebody bad in the fight?
Yeah, I can't that damn, what's that dude? He got some braids in his hair. He from New York. I think he was from New York. Patrick Day, is that his name?
Was it Pat? Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. He went out there and I think he killed him. Conwell pretty tough, man. I saw Conwell fight one time on that Freddie Roach Thursday night boxing shit. I can't remember the name of it. But he fought a guy that was tough, man, and was fighting real dirty. And I like the way Conwell kept his head in the fight and was just punishing that motherfucker all night. And he didn't fall for none of the antics, you know what I'm saying? They showed me he got like some mental toughness. And plus, he got the amateur background, like I just said, 132 and 14. I think, yeah, about 132 and 14, national championships and all that kind of shit. I like Conwell, man. You know what I'm saying? Uh, L does say Zapata versus Program will be on Fight TV. Just a reminder. Okay, damn, we was thinking that shit was gonna be on the zone, but that shit gonna be on Fight TV, huh? All right. Mr. Pigeon said we need to watch that fight back. I don't know what he talking about. Maybe he talking about the Taylor and Prograde or something. He said, I go rest. Have a great night, friends. Phil. Yeah, appreciate you coming through, Phil. Salute to you.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Eric R. say kill Day. All right, so he's saying it's Patrick Day. L Dub said that Ring City, USA. I always call it that Freddie Roach boxing shit. But yeah, that Ring City, that sounds about right. Joseph Brown said Andy in the pocket would catch White left hook on the temple. Both of them got a pretty nice counter left hook, man. If you go back and look at their fights against Anthony Joshua, both of them hit Joshua with the same punch. Joshua missed the right hand and he got caught with the left hook in both fights. And he got hurt real bad in both fights, too. He got dropped against Ruiz. I don't think he got dropped against Dillian White, but you could tell he was fucked up, though, when he took that counter left hook. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually something that they have in common, man. But that's one thing I like about Ruiz is his ability to counterpunch. Because when you think about a good counterpuncher, that's not the type of package that you think that it comes in most of the time. You think of a guy that fights more for range when you think about a counterpuncher, but for his stature, he is a very good counterpuncher.
Hey,
You know,
White made that boy Joshua do a little dance. Hey,
yeah.
get down tonight.
Hey, square business. And it was something else that I had in my mind about that damn matchup. But my mind went blank. Damn, I guess it'll come back to me. But we also got this Nathan Gorman versus Fabio Wardley fight that's gonna be interesting this weekend. They got this guy Wardley. They got him as the underdog against Fabio Wardley. I mean Gorman. They got him as the underdog against Fabio Wardley. Fabio Wardley only got like 6 amateur fights. You know what I'm saying? He got some natural ability though. To me, he looked a little green, but you could tell that he got some talent. And this Nathan Gorman guy, a little bit deep amateur background, fought at the ABAs, was on Team Great Britain, fought in the Three Nations tournament and shit like that. Come from a fighting family. You know, he the great grandson of Bartley Gorman or some shit like that, cousins of Tyson Fury and all that kind of stuff. So he come from a fighting family. But he got some pretty good boxing skills though, man. I know he went out there and got stopped by Daniel Dubois, but Daniel Dubois, hell, he was stopped Fabio Wardley 2 or 3 fought. So you can't even hold that against him. But that's a very interesting matchup for me this weekend. I'm leaning towards Gorman. If any of y'all check that fight out, what y'all think about it?
I ain't even see it.
It's on the channel Rawlers, you know what I'm saying? So you gonna see it.
Yeah, I went with Wardley. When I first saw Wardley's first name Fabio, I had to make sure he went from France because I was not gonna pick him if he was from France. but but nah, I went with him, man. I just kind of felt like Boardman seemed like a underachiever to me. You know what I'm saying? And I just kind of felt like it's one of the situations where him being the underdog, I don't see him rising to the occasion, getting it done. But he can prove me wrong. But I went with Wardman. But
I ain't mad at you. I'm damn sure leaning toward Gorman, man. I was looking at some of his old fights, like against that cat with that beard and shit. Fuck, I can't think of his name. Y'all know I'm just so bad with names, man. But I like his jab. I
let's
like how he go
call
to
him
the body.
Beardley.
I think it would think his last name was Larte that I was looking at.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was Larte. But yeah, I like the guy jab, man. I like his body work and shit. I like his experience. Elder was talking about his experience. I think overall he's the more experienced fighter. If we look at what happened in the amateurs and shit, it's gonna be an interesting fight, man. I just think that the odds should be a little closer. I don't think this guy should be no 3-1 favorite over no uh Nathan Gorman. I just don't think that's I don't think that's right. The man got 6 amateur fights, man. You know what I'm saying? For me, I just can't look at that shit like that. Joseph Brown. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I didn't know that when I made my pick. I didn't look that deep into it.
Yeah, I mean the guy got some ability though. He ain't up there for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't like his experience level. Uh Eric Garcia, Patrick Day passed shortly after fighting Charles Conwell. That type of shit can have a negative impact on fighters too, man. They say some fighters don't be the same after they do some shit like that. Like Sugar Ray Robinson when he fought Jimmy Doyle. They said he wasn't the same after that. They said that turned him into the best businessman in the history of boxing. Also, Ezra Charles, when he went out there and killed that boy, what's the name of that dude he killed? Fuck, I can't think of his name either. I get so tired of saying that shit when I'm doing live stream. Fuck, I can't think of his name. When he went out there and killed this dude, man, and the dude, his pops made him feel better because he had actually killed somebody too. You know what I'm saying? It's boxing a tough game, man. You got to be a tough-minded fighter to bounce back off some shit like that. You done, killed your fellow warrior in the ring and shit. But I like Conwell though. Like I said, I like the mental toughness and all that kind of stuff. I like the amateur background and shit. But yeah, we got some pretty decent fights that's coming up this weekend, man. It's not one of them star-studded weekends, but if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you definitely looking forward to Regis Prograis versus Zapata at the very least. And if you're a real hardcore boxing fan, it's a lot of other fights like the women fight that's taking place, the Nina Hughes and all that kind of shit. It's gonna be some good fights.
Hey, who y'all looking at with John Ryder versus Zach Parker?
I gotta go with Zach Parker, man. I think he underrated, bro. I think that's a dangerous fighter right there. I done heard some people mention him as like being a soft touch for some fighters. I don't think he knows soft touch, man. I don't think he go out there and do what he did to Von Alexander and be a soft touch. And that's just an example. You know what I'm saying? The man can fight. The ambidextrous. I normally don't like that, but he seems to be effective with his shit. He out there switching. He got some pretty good power. Got good size for the division. You know what I'm saying? I gotta take him, man. John Ryder gonna come fight back though. He ain't no punk. We saw he fought back against Danny Jacobs and shit like that, but I think that this guy, uh, his opponent, I think he's stronger than Jacobs though. So I
Yeah.
like him, but both of them coming off a pretty significant layoff. The Parker guy, he hasn't fought since last November, and his opponent John Ryder, he fought in February. So they coming off layoffs. 9 months for one guy, and the other guy a whole year, and I think that might play a part.
Yeah.
What you think about the shit?
Yeah, I was looking at John Ryder, to me, he done beat two really good fighters because he, he got robbed against Callum Smith, and he beat Daniel Jacobs. So I mean, he ain't no easy fight. But that's if you let him fight on the inside, and I don't think Zach Parker gonna do that because he really good at keeping his range and using his lead hand to keep you at distance and everything and land his punches. So I mean, I think Zach Parker probably be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I think so too. What about you, D-Lo?
Yeah, I got Zach Parker as well, man. I think he's a pressure fighter of the two. You know, I naturally he seems like the naturally bigger man. You know, and seems to have more have more ability. Ryder, I think I agree with what the Kane said. You know, I think Ryder, got robbed against Callum Smith. You know, I felt like he deserved to win that fight. And of course, who knows where his career would be at this point, had he been awarded that win. But definitely was impressed with what he was able to do against Danny Jacobs. But, the one thing I will, I credit him for being in the fight and fighting as well as he did. But I think Daniel Jacobs fought such a dumb fight that, it's hard to just miss that part of it too. But I think this Zach Parker is a young, hungry fighter. And I think he has greater ambitions than, just facing John Ryder. So I think, what I'm saying, he's motivated. He gonna go out there and get the job done. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember if I picked him by stoppage or what, but I definitely got to beat Ryder.
I agree with y'all when y'all say that Ryder beat Calvin Smith. I remember watching that fight. And that's also one of them fights that had me talking about how hard it is to fight a shorter southpaw, especially when you like going to the body. Like thinking about Josh Taylor when he fought that Catterall, one of them short southpaw type motherfucker. That can throw you out. That ain't something that you see every day. You know what I'm saying? But I like the versatility from Zach Parker, man. I like the size. I like the amateur background. I like the power. I think it's a lot to like. I just don't like the layoff. He ain't fought in over a year. His last fight was like November the 6th or November the 10th or some shit like that. So it has officially been over a year since this man been in the ring. And for what I've seen in boxing, that's not something to ignore. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times them fighters lose. So I won't be surprised if John Ryder go out there and get an upset, but I am picking Zach Parker. Moyo South, salute to you.
Salute, fam. What's good with it? Yeah, I'm gonna lock in with y'all with Parker.
You gonna lock in on Parker? All right. Eric Ross said, I hope he beat Ryder just to throw off Canelo cherry picking ass. I heard people mentioning Parker as a cherry pick for Canelo. I think the motherfucker Canelo probably lose, but I think this dude will come fight back though. I think he'll come back and show something. Especially if he get him a nice tune-up fight. Well, that's what's coming up right now. So if he go out there and get some good rounds against Ryder, I think that motherfucker give Canelo a tough fight, me personally. I think Canelo should be favored to win, but I think that dude come fight back. Square business.
If you want, salute, bro. What's happening?
L does say Zach Parker has the same trainer as David Albanesian, Neil Marsh. All right, got a fun fact in this motherfucker. Zach Parker and David Albanesian. Yeah, what y'all think Crawford gonna do with Albanesian? Y'all think he's just gonna go out there and whoop the motherfucker ass real easy? You think Albanesian gonna fight back?
I don't think it's gonna be. I don't know, man. That layoff, like we talked about, that's the intriguing aspect of it is that layoff. You know what I'm saying? That Crawford had been in the ring since the Porter fight. A lot of stuff going on, in and out the ring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're outside of the ring rather. So you know what I'm saying? Never know. I actually think the fans have gotten in his head. You know what I'm saying? Whether he can put all that behind him on fight night and just focus on his job at hand, that kind of remained to be seen. But he definitely seemed to be just entrenched with a bunch of distractions. Even with the media obligations, he's doing more than he's ever done before. In terms of engaging with media, engaging with what I'm saying, on social media and everything else. So, you don't know how that's gonna play into it either. But I mean, as far as just the opposition and the matchup, I mean, I think Crawford should win the fight going away. I wouldn't be surprised if he get buzzed in the fight at some point. But I think he should win the fight going away. If he's on his game, you know what I'm saying? He should get a late, mid to late stoppage.
I'm with Winston Lee. I don't see this fight happening. It's supposed to be less than 2 weeks away. Ain't been no press conference. Ain't been nothing. Does anybody know who on the undercard? Anybody know anything about the fight? Nothing. And it's supposed to be in Nebraska. I don't see how this fight. What kind of fight is going on here with no press conference, no nothing. Every interview that man had, he been talking about Spence and PBC. So I don't know what kind of fight this is, but Bud should go in there and handle his work.
Okay, I saw Evan had a deeper amateur background than what I thought he did. That made me feel a little bit better about the fight. You know what I'm saying? He got definitely aggressive type of fighter, but I agree with L Dub. He said it'd be like a typical Crawford fight, slow start, then after 4 years start to touch Avenesian and fuck around and stop him in the mid rounds, round 8. I could see some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's a far superior fighter. This will turn out to be Southpaw and Southpaw, right? Because I think Avenesian is Southpaw. I might be tripping. I thought I saw he was a Southpaw, though. But hell, whatever stance in, I don't think he got no win if the fight takes place.
L Dub said he know who on the undercard. Shit ain't L Dub. Tell us who on the undercard because they sure ain't announced the motherfucker.
Right, you know that motherfucker know.
Yeah, they been said Nelson was gonna be on undercard.
What's his first name?
Soko.
Who?
Soko Nelson.
I don't even know the fuck that is.
Steven Nelson.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking you were talking about.
I thought Big Baby was gonna be on the undercard.
No, he on the what's the name on the card? You talking about Anderson?
Yeah.
He on Teofimo Lopez on the card.
Oh, okay.
The same day.
Oh, okay.
All right, Joseph Brown.
Keyshawn Davis fighting that day too.
If you say based on Sunday win over Felix, how competitive is a fight between he and Jesse? I don't even know who you talking about. Sonny, what the fuck is his name? That's Sonny.
Sonny Edwards.
Yeah, Sonny Edwards over Felix. Man, I like Sonny Edwards, man. I always like the way he fight, especially early in fights. Once the fight, like when it gets later in the fight, to me, his technique starts to deteriorate a little bit. But early in the fight, man, the man has some underrated athleticism and shit, man. I think he's a little slicker than people be giving him credit for. He got a decent amateur background and shit like that. I think him and Van Rodriguez would be a good fight. I don't think that's no cherry pick at all for no Van Rodriguez, man. That kid got some talent to him, you know what I'm saying? I just like Van Rodriguez's overall game. He might be my favorite fighter in boxing right now. Just looking at straight skills, and he the type of guy that makes me want to watch all of his fights. Like I don't watch all of the footage that's available on YouTube on this kid, and it didn't take me long. Like I watched fight after fight after fight, just back to back to back. I was just watching this shit, couldn't get enough of it. So it's gonna be kind of hard for me to pick a fighter against Bam, but I do think it'll be an excellent fight though, square business. I also wanted to say too, man, I know this shit is kind of jumping all over the place. Do y'all want to get y'all take on Bam Rodriguez and Sonny Edwards before I say this?
I ain't got nothing.
Well, shit, man, I'm gonna tell y'all who stood out to me this past weekend. Greg fucking Hardy, when he went out there and upset Rockman Jr. I went back and forth with my man Yasser because we didn't agree on this shit. Yasser think that he think that Rockman Jr. is just straight up trash and garbage. He the son of a champion. He ain't worth a fuck. And I was thinking the same thing at first until I actually went back and watched the fight. Greg Hardy was a lot fucking better than I anticipated him being. The first round, it looked like it was supposed to look. That motherfucker Rockman Jr. out there hitting him with combination, coming back with the hook and all kind of shit. It looked like he was too fast. But on everything, Greg Hardy looked better and better as the fucking fight went along. And he started counter punching, man. He was countering the dude. He was parrying with the same hand and countering with the same hand. Parry with the right hand and come back with the right hand. That's the kind of shit we be talking about with the old school. I don't even see a lot of seasoned professionals. I don't even see them doing that move. And he was doing moves that the professionals don't be doing. Parrying and countering with the same hand, with the right hand and shit. He dropped him with a counter right hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all who he reminded me of. He reminded me of Sonny Banks. And that's the first person to ever drop Ali. And people give Ali a lot of shit over this guy because he was only 18-7. But if you actually go look at Sonny Banks' fight, you will see him doing a lot of counter punching. In my opinion, you can't be no D-level fighter and be a great counter puncher. That just ain't the way it works to me. For me, you at least got to be C-level. And looking at Hardy out there with them counter punches and shit, and plus he outweighed the man by 94 pounds, and we know that he is a former world-class athlete. It seemed like he got the type of ability that he can pick up shit real fast because the type of counter punches he was landing, and plus he was fainting and shit. He was fainting with the six to open up the left hook to the body. He was doing some sophisticated looking shit in that fight if you actually looked at that shit, man. And that dude kind of stole the weekend for me because I was not expecting that. I know that he was a big underdog in the fight. I didn't see no odds, but I'm assuming he was a big underdog. Came in on short notice, and he went out there and put some good work, in my opinion. That motherfucker came. L-Dub, I see Winston Lee with the Steven Nelson. L-Dub said Avanesian is a right-hander, but he switched. I don't know why I thought that motherfucker was a straight southpaw, man. When I said it, it kind of felt like I was tripping. L-Dub said Steven Nelson, Chris Cyborg, Truck Simpson, Barbara Carcilia, and Gabe Murataya on the card, all right? If that's the Murataya that I done seen on top rank, Truck Simpson, yeah, there might be a few opportunities to make a few dollars. Because Truck Simpson, the type of guy that go out there and win by decision if he got the right opponent. His last fight, I got plus 120 on the decision. It made me some change. Joseph Brown said Sonny versus Bam. Sonny could win that fight. Yeah, he could win. He got the talent to win. I just don't think he got the skills to go out there and beat this kid. And plus, he ain't got the pedigree. You know, I call him like a 3.5. But Bam Rodriguez won silver at the youth world championship. The junior world championships. My bad. Those are two separate tournaments. You got the youth world championships and you got the junior world championships. And Bam Rodriguez won silver at the juniors. L-Dub said, Trey, that wasn't an upset. Hardy over Rockman Jr. That wasn't an upset. I don't know why. Like I said, I didn't see no odds. I was just assuming that this guy coming in on short notice would be an upset over this guy. Because I think what he came in on like 2 weeks notice or some shit like that. I don't see people coming in on short notice and be the favorite in the fight. Hell, I can't think of now an example of somebody coming in on short notice and being the favorite. Joseph Brown said Hardy had a 94-pound weight advantage. He did. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. And I was thinking, hell, we could take our favorite fighters, put them in there with a fighter, and they had a 94-pound weight disadvantage, and we expect them the motherfuckers to win. To where we got to talk shit about, oh, man, he ain't worth a fuck because he went out there and lost to a dude that's 94 pounds bigger than him. But I wasn't expecting the skills. That's what took me off guard. I was not expecting the counter punching. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all probably ain't even watched that shit because, you know, that's like some, I don't even know how you would describe that. It ain't like real boxing. But I thought it was pretty interesting, especially after I saw that the guy lost. So that made me go back and check it out. And I left feeling impressed with Greg Hardy. Hell, he looked like a C-level fighter down under me when I looked at that shit for 4 rounds. Especially in rounds 3 and 4. Like, as he got warmed up, he got better in the fight. You know what I'm saying? But
I didn't watch it, but you making me interested in it.
Oh, yeah, go back and check it out.
Yeah, I will.
We done been on for like an hour and a half. What you feeling like over there, bro?
Yeah, I got to get up. I got 12 hours this whole week for 5 weeks.
All right, man. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. We're going to try to come back with something on Saturday. This shit going to be on Fight TV, man. So I might not be able to call it because I was thinking it was going to be on its own and we were going to see if we could get the the password from Decane for Marlo, but that shit ain't even on the zone. I think the zone they might be showing that Jermaine Franklin versus Dillian White fight though. So yeah, I'll be on the lookout for the fights, man. One time L Dub he do a breakdown every week on the fights that's taking place that week, and he tell you how you can go watch the shit and all that. So y'all check out his video. You know what I'm saying? He do them on Mondays. Oh yeah, he do them on Mondays. So check that shit out. I'm gonna have to go get with him too, so I can see how to check out some of these fights. You know what I'm saying? You can hit the motherfucker up on social media, like on Facebook and all that shit too. You know what I'm saying? But you want to go first, D-Lo?
Yeah, man. But appreciate y'all having me on the panel, man. Much peace and respect to everybody in the chat. Catch y'all on the next one.
All right, Kane, what about you?
All right, y'all. Hey, don't forget to check out that Jamie Mitchell versus Nina Hughes fight. Just to whet your appetite, watch Jamie Mitchell versus Carly Skelly, because I mean he beat the hell out that girl. It was a very entertaining fight. Uh, Glad to come through talk boxing for a little bit. I ain't gonna hold y'all.
Said to wet your whistle. Go check out that other fight. I'm gonna go see what the Jamie Mitchell talking about. You know what I'm saying? Eric Carr said, "Well, Lipinets a favorite on short notice versus Figueroa. The odds was real close, but if it's one that the short notice guy might have been a favorite, that might be it. It might be it right there. Because I know that the odds were close, but it might have been a slight favorite for Lipinets. That's a good one right there." L Dub said, "I seen Rockman Jr. fight Mexico during the pandemic, and he looked the same as he did versus Hardy. The Mexican opponent weighed him about 30 pounds and not 94 pounds. Goddamn me." Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. We're gonna try to come back with something this weekend or whenever we can, man. Call some fights. It seems like it's been a long time since I done called some fights. Hell, I'm probably gonna have all kind of ring rust when I get back to it though, man. But much love to all the subscribers and shit, man, especially the members that be holding us down. If you're a member and you want to get in on the boxing picks and shit, I'm gonna go ahead and keep that open. We've been having some success with it, putting down the football and boxing picks. Matter of fact, right now in football, I'm 66, 35, and 1 overall, college and pro. I ain't no joke with this shit. Boxing, I'm 94 and 49 overall. That includes all the favorites and the underdogs. I ain't no joke with that shit either. You know what I'm saying? I like to come and whoop ass. And I'm very hard on myself. And that gives me, in my mind, the license to be hard on other people. Because I ain't hard on nobody than I am with myself, though. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, man. We're gonna try to come back with something, at least do some trivia here soon. I already got like 25, 30 questions or something, so I just gotta add on to that so we can stay sharp with our knowledge. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I ain't gonna talk y'all to death, man. Appreciate y'all. Oh yeah, now in that motherfucker hyphy, I said what's up to him one day, and he didn't say what's up back. So fuck that motherfucker. I ain't saying what's up to him no more. That's why I say what's up to everybody else. I ain't say shit to that motherfucker. It's just boxing. We gonna get with you. Salute.
Hey, you too, pro black.
Yeah, all that shit.
Oh man, salute. You already know, man. It's always fun and enjoy the time y'all spend with us, man. Rocking out, talking this boxing. Been down, but we back at it, man. Gonna definitely see y'all soon. We don't call the fights on Saturday. We be right back with some more conversation, man. Some more topics about what's going on in the sport. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all night, man. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Till next time. Don't forget to tell them haters and trolls. The fuck out my gym.
You heard him.
Peace.
Gia.